There's a man by the name of Aaron Rodgers who is growing his hair out as well, and he's doing so on the island of. Damn, I wish I knew. I didn't actually. I just started the sentence and I didn't know. The state of Hawaii, the islands of Hawaii, the islands. I don't know which one he's on, but Aaron Rodgers is providing content for this podcast as only he can, and you're fired up about it, Charlotte.
Oh man,
I love when we do. When you get excited about every one of these shows, if we're being honest, but like anytime. There's an Aaron Rodgers,
the
Shailene
Leslie
Woodley
Knope
update.
of sports media. You can just say it.
You text me like an hour before every show, and you're like, "I'm so excited for today." And I'm like, "Yeah, Charlotte,
Have I told you how my roommate when we were just out of college, she's my best friend, Hillary. Shout out Hillary. I love her dearly, and we lived together, for 2 years after college, 2 or 3 years after college, and she she once said to me, she was like, Shar, I just want you to know, like. Just because I don't seem as excited as you are when I come home from work as you are to see me, it doesn't mean I'm not as excited to see you.
Yeah.
I just express it differently. Like truly I'm like a golden retriever.
You are.
I'm like an occasionally really moody golden retriever. Like it makes zero sense. But she was like, I just want you to know that. And so I feel like we have that dynamic on this podcast.
Well, good for you. I love golden retrievers, so it works out well.
Yeah, there you go.
So
anyway, yes, I'm thrilled about this, Mark, because I truly feel that the content gods have smiled upon us today, because I saw, first of all, we've got amazing Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka beef that we're going to get into. We've got Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley on vacation with the actor Miles Teller and his wife, Keleigh Teller, who spells her name Keleigh.
Wow.
She's
not getting any love. Is she not famous? Is that it?
I don't know.
I just keep seeing that they say, because like I was so confused because I kept seeing all these headlines about how Aaron and Shailene Woodley are hanging out with Miles Teller. I was like, is Miles Teller just third wheeling on like Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley on like they're on like a pre-honeymoon, by the way, is what it feels like. It's like they're just in Hawaii. Like they're not married yet, but they're on a honeymoon anyway. And then Miles Teller's just along for the ride. And I'm like, what's going on here?
You're like, why are they there? Or why are they there? Also, what has Miles Teller been in since Whiplash?
I don't know. Do you need to be anything else after that movie?
No,
what a
I guess
great
not.
movie.
But I've looked her up. Her name was Kelly Sperry. She's a model. Okay. Well, I mean, she looks like a model. They all look amazing. Did you see that picture of them on a waterfall posing? And I was like, these are just like perfectly cut people.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Like, look at that. Are you kidding me?
People were killing Aaron for like not being. I don't know. For not. I mean, he's a professional athlete. The standard for professional athlete bodies is. It's too much. We need to.
Too much. Way too much. We got to normalize the dad bod.
We got it. Like Myles Garrett has ruined everything. Like people see video of Myles Garrett like lifting weights, and they're like, "Yeah, that's what every pro athlete should look like." And then you see Aaron
Donald
Rodgers.
has done no one any favors. You know what, Mark?
Aaron Rodgers looks great, and everyone's like, "I don't get it. I don't see a six pack, and I don't think he can bench 405 pounds. So he must be."
We need to normalize the mid-range jumper, and we also need to normalize dad strength, because I think what Aaron is exhibiting, he looks good. He looks fun. Like, come on, everybody. I don't know. So anyway, we'll get to that. That happens, and then I was looking at Twitter, and I see a tweet that says the match. You've got Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers and Bryson DeChambeau. And I was like, my brain exploded. I was like, this is all of the things that we talk about, that I obsess about in one news cycle. And honestly, my little brain is having a hard time keeping all of this
It's like the match was made. It was tailor-made for us.
Yes.
For the two of us. Excuse me. I think the only way it gets better is if Phil is not in it and you just put in like Yosemite Sam or Babe Ruth's dead wife. Because Phil, we love Phil on this program, but we don't spend a ton of time. We haven't really like obsessed over Phil. Like we have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Bryson DeChambeau.
Who could they have paired with? Like what golfer?
I mean, Brooks is the obvious thing, but we haven't really talked much about Brooks. We're going to today.
Yeah,
we're definitely going to today. Who else? Like what other golf situation? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I feel like you've nailed it with Rosenbaum or, Babe Ruth's dead. Helen Ruth.
Bob Baffert.
There it is. There it is. There it is. My hair is just making my t-shirt extremely wet.
This is a struggle. This is so funny.
Also, my t-shirt I'm wearing, do you see Patrick Ewing behind me as always? Yeah. I'm wearing a Patrick Ewing t-shirt in honor of the Knicks tonight.
Classic. Just as Boston goes down 0-2, just the classic pivot. What are you going to do tonight when the Knicks lose and they're down 0-2 as well?
I don't know, Mark. I'm trying not to think about that yet. I'll probably drink if we're being
Charlotte's
honest.
going to wait until Game 6 of the NBA Finals to decide who her NBA team is this year.
I'm going to be a huge Nets fan. I'm going to shit on the Nets the whole playoffs, and then I'm going to be a massive Nets fan.
Yeah. Or you're going to start tweets with, as a New Yorker, this is great for the city. As a Brooklynite, I'm so excited to...
I told my mom the other day, she was asking me about, she was like, I follow sports because of you. And I was like, that is really sweet. She was like, I try to know some things, but I don't know that much. She was like, for example, I didn't know it was basketball time until I saw your podcast tweeting about it or something. And I was like, oh yes, it is basketball time.
It's basketball time.
She was like, did you see the New Yorker? This tells you about that. She was like, did you see the New Yorker cover of the Knicks and the Nets? And I was like, I did see that. And she was like, I said, they're pretty good. They're both in the playoffs. And she was like, okay, that's good. That's something to know when I talk about it with other people. And I was like, hey, here's what you can say. You can say, regardless of how you feel about the Nets, this is great for New York. This is great for basketball. And she just goes, isn't that like such a cliche? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry that you're too smart for sports media.
Yes, she's even burnt out by sports media and she doesn't even consume it.
She was like, are you kidding me? People say that?
Yeah. Like, Mom, do you like Jordan or LeBron more? And she's like, ugh, that's so trite.
Seriously.
Like, what? You've never even thought about it, Mom. I've never once heard your thoughts. She's like, no, I don't. No, it's too much.
She's like, not interesting.
If it is, I just realized if it is Lakers Nets finals, which is what the Vegas odds makers believe is supposed to happen in these playoffs, that's house divided on this podcast. You are the Brooklyn faction. I am the Lakers are famously the Marina Del Rey Lakers.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
there are a lot of Lakers. I was told there are a lot of Lakers that live around here. There's an apartment complex down the way.
Really?
They live in Marina Del Rey, but it's not the ones you. It's always like I was told it's always the Lakers that are thinking that they're gonna get traded. LeBron, they're the guys that like LeBron floats their names as like we're gonna get rid of these guys.
It's just Kyle Kuzma, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso, KCP, Lonzo. I think Lonzo used to live over there. Like Julius Randle, that was where he lived. All these guys that you got to get rid of them so you can.
I think I know the building.
LeBron.
I think you pointed those out to me.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. That's wow.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
yeah, that is
basketball
going to
time,
be.
as your mom said. I love that phrase. I need that on a T-shirt. It's basketball time.
The Des Moines Yacht Club on the back. It's basketball time. There it is.
All right, so where do we want to start here? Aaron Rodgers, Shailene Woodley. Let's just start there because I think the meat and potatoes of this show is going to be Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka. I don't know who's the meat and who's the potatoes, but
they're both the potatoes.
They're both the potatoes. But the appetizer, as it frequently is on this show, is an update of Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley. We've kind of hit the bullet points already. They're in Hawaii. They're loving life. You are the relationship expert of this relationship, I guess. What else do the people need to know? What what's going on?
Mark, I think you actually nailed it on Monday when you said Aaron Rodgers is happy.
I think he's the happiest he's ever been in his life.
And I think that's kind of all there is to say about it. I think people are pissed because
and that's why people are pissed.
I do. I think you're right. I mean, as soon as you said that, I've been thinking about that a lot since you said that on our honorable mentions pod, and I was like, holy shit, Mark's right. Like that's what you saw him on. I guess that since our podcast on Monday, he went on Kenny Mayne's last Sports Center, and he said that he wasn't upset with and this will come back to Shailene, don't you worry, people. But he said that he was upset with the organization for its lack of values and sort of lack of the philosophy that he wanted it to have, which was, he was like, an organization isn't the history, it's the people. And he feels he was like, it's not drafting Jordan Love. I wasn't upset about that. What I've heard sort of from people that I know, not to brag, close to the situation, is that he was upset that they didn't tell him. That he was upset that he was not informed. I've heard that Matt LaFleur didn't want to take Jordan Love, and so everybody just sort of felt like there was this.
Are you reporting this, or are you just saying this? There's a difference. Are you
Both.
reporting? Okay, all right.
I'm saying a rumor that I heard,
okay.
and I don't know if that's true or not. But like, if you think about it, what he's saying is that he's upset with their lack of. He's like, there's a certain way you do things. It sort of reminds me of you, Mark. It's like there are ways you do things. There are ways you treat people. They were not followed. You're welcome. They were not followed in the case of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And now he has this new girlfriend fiance, excuse me. And they seem, it started as a joke, my obsession with this relationship. I actually think it seems like they're very happy together. And I'm just very happy for them. And if that's working and he finally has the peace of like, okay, they violated some of my moral code and I'm going to try to go somewhere else. But also like, I'm living my best life in the meantime. Good for Aaron.
Yeah, and that is pissing off a lot of people because our understanding of what professional athletes should be is that the only time you can be happy is when you've won the championship and you're raising the trophy over your head and there's confetti showering down on you.
Yep.
And it feels like Aaron Rodgers thought that for the longest time, or thought that that's like the trend. We've said this on the show before. Is Shailene Woodley like unlocked something in him where he's like, oh, I could be even happier if I don't play. Like the happiness of my life is not dictated on whether I won this playoff game or not. I can just go to Hawaii and chase waterfalls with Miles Teller. Like, that's fun. Why don't I just do that all the time? Why don't I go to the Derby and wear stupid hats? Why don't I? Is he retiring, Charlotte? He might not even be getting traded. Like, is he coming back at all?
Wow, that makes you think, Mark.
For real,
he's acting like a man who's retiring.
Put it this way: if Aaron Rodgers, first of all, I don't think he would announce his retirement. Like, I get the feeling that like if we've seen the last of Aaron Rodgers on a football field, it's not like he's going to put out a statement on like August 1st. It's like, I've officially retired. I feel like it's just going to like just go and just like life is just moving.
He's
and the
gonna
Packers
ghost
start
the
practice.
NFL.
Yeah, and you're like, where's Aaron? You're like, he's in Hawaii doing his thing. He'll show up. And then like it's like 8 days before the first game, and you're like, okay, he should probably be here by now, right? Has anyone heard from him? No, I don't. I'm sure he'll show up. And then it just kind of, he just ghosts the whole league, and he never says anything. And then like week 7, he says, "Oh yeah, I retired. I thought you guys knew that." Yeah.
He's like, wasn't it obvious from the fact that I didn't show? I think that's right, Mark. I think that there's a very good chance he's just literally riding off into the sunset on rainbows and waterfalls over here. I think also though that like, you're totally right that we've decided that you're only allowed to be happy when you're winning, and you're only allowed to be happy when you're publicly winning. Yes. And the inner peace and inner life. But then if you get too happy,
if you get too happy, act like you've been there before. Quit shoving it down. Like, we get it. You won the champion. Like, who cares? Like, that's shut up, LeBron. Okay, you won a title.
Right.
We don't care.
Like, okay, we get it, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Boring. I hate this guy. He wins too much. And it's
you can't win.
Sports are fun.
You literally can't win. Like, all you can do in sports, even if you win, is lose.
Right.
And so Aaron Rodgers, and I've been thinking about this recently. I've been thinking about like, okay, we act as though in our society, give me a second here.
All right, here we go.
We're
all
just
I need a drink of water.
It's always the next thing. It's like, how are you winning? What are you doing next? How are you growing? How are you blah, blah, blah? And, what if every day you approach as like, how am I going to be happy today instead of in 3 years? And I just feel like that's it. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is prioritizing wellness. I feel like he should start selling, like ginger tea on Instagram and just be like, center yourself every morning. I start with 3 sun salutations. I'm here for it. I love Aaron's vibe.
I do too. I genuinely do too. I remember Kyle Guy. You know who he is. He played basketball at Virginia. You're a big Virginia fan.
My guy.
Your guy, exactly. He came on the show I did with Tate. This was like last year. It was definitely last year, but I forget the timeline. But I'll never forget him mentioning to us I do forget the context of the question, but I'll never forget him basically like saying in the interview, I'm not trying to be the best ever. I'm not trying to be the GOAT. Like I'm not.
Wow, he said that.
Yeah, he basically, I'm obviously paraphrasing. He basically, his attitude was like, I try my best at basketball. I'm gonna make some money doing it. My happiness is like I'm married. I love my family. I love like that's that. Like I'm not trying to be Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe. Like I'm not. That's not. And I remember hearing that, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy that a guy's saying this. But then I was also like, thank God he's saying this. Like, are you kidding me? This is how how many athletes are that way, that they're just like I feel like Aaron Rodgers is that way. He just happens to be maybe the most naturally talented quarterback to ever play. And it's not that he doesn't have the drive or the passion or he's not trying hard. It's just like maybe he just has perspective is what it is, Charlotte.
Wow.
Maybe because the other thing that I go back to a lot is, and Tate mentions this when we do shows a lot together too, is Billy Donovan, who is the head coach of the Bulls now. He was the coach at Florida, won back-to-back national titles, 06, 07. And he was quoted as saying like, he always thought when he got into coaching that when he won a title, like the world would change, that like he would now go into rooms and people would like, there would be trumpets, ladies and gentlemen, national champion Billy Donovan, and then he like waved everybody, and like that was how it worked. And he said like nothing changed. He's like, my life wasn't any different. I was like, yeah, sure, if I was speaking at an event, they'd put like national champion Billy Donovan or something, but like no one, it didn't matter. And like and the point was that like you think in your head that I don't know, the secret to life, that all your happiness, all your hopes and dreams lie in winning that Lombardi trophy.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't. And this is some serious armchair psychology, by the way. But that's what I think about. I don't say that applies to Aaron Rodgers, but like when I'm watching him do this, like that's what I think about, things like Billy Donovan saying that. Yeah. I think about like what Kyle Guy told me. I think about like all that. And I'm like, is this just like an awakening he's going through, where he's like, I could win 12 straight Super Bowls, and it's not going to like change who I am or what I value or whatever. So like, why try to even win one more? What if I just retire? What if I just go chase waterfalls? He might be retired, Charlotte.
He very well. You know what I want? I want more than I've ever wanted anyone to come on this podcast. I want Aaron Rodgers. I want to get philosophical with Aaron Rodgers. I know that that's probably not going to happen. But maybe if we send him this clip and we're like, hey man, we're on your side, dude.
We're on your side.
We get it. And we want to hear like I would love to know if he has just found some kind of great meditation app. And he's like, yeah, Headspace changed my life. Yeah. Because I think that it's a very real possibility that he just has perspective.
No, it might not even be that. It might literally just be Shailene Woodley saying "so what" to him over and over and over. Like think about that exercise where Aaron's like, I got to go to practice, and she's like, don't go. He's like, but if I don't go, then I might lose my starting spot. They might just like out of spite let Jordan Love start. So she goes, so what? And he's like, yeah, but if he starts, then that hurts my legacy. And so what? Yeah, but if my legacy, then like right now people think I might be the GOAT, and like, so what? And she just kept saying that over and over. And he's like, whoa.
I love that.
Whoa. Because so what? Yeah. So what?
He's like, oh, you're right. She's like, and every once in a while between the so what, she tosses in and like, yeah, does it make you happy?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think we're onto something.
I mean, shout out Shailene. I think I love Shailene Woodley.
You know what's gonna happen?
I love our fake idea. I love the fantasy life that we have built for Shailene and Aaron. I am very attached to it.
I think far more likely than Aaron coming on the show is Aaron sees this clip and like tweets it and just puts like, you guys couldn't be more off. Like, I can't wait to start OTAs next week. like what the hell is this garbage? That's not me.
He's like, you like, just straight up made shit up about me for 10 minutes. We're like, no, we just appreciate. He's like, you're projecting.
You guys are out of your minds. Please
stop. The Billy Donovan thing I love because, and I'm like, I've been in therapy since I was 12, Aaron. Okay, relax. The Billy Donovan thing I do love because I feel like I think in this business, I used to think that like the next job that I got would be the one that changed my life or like the next thing that I did. You know, I'm now on job, 7? And and all of and like, it's definitely not to
You're
say
doing great. I want to say that. You are doing great. Yeah.
Thank you. That is very kind of you to say. And I guess that is what allows me to say, you know, maybe that's not all of where happiness comes from because it actually is. And I'm just doing it. I'm kidding. But, you know, I do think that there's a mentality of like the next thing is going to be the thing that changes my life. And Aaron is like,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
He's just like, the next thing is going to be Hawaii.
Yeah, the next thing is Hawaii. Yeah, maybe.
And like,
well, isn't there like a study that that they ask people like how much money do you need to be happy or something, and like no matter who I forget what I'm butchering it, but it was something like 20,000.
No, it's over a certain threshold.
Yeah, it was over like 75 grand or something. That doesn't make you happy. But I thought there was something else where it was like, how much money do you need to be happy? And they asked people, and it was always like just a little bit more. And if you made $10 million a year, you're like, if I made $12 million a year, I'd be so happy.
Wow.
And if you made like 100 grand, you're like, if I just made 120, I would be so happy. It would solve all my problems. And again, boy, this has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers at this point, but maybe
no, but it has everything to do with Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think we're trying to say that. Yeah, I'm not saying it is definitely projection. I just think like that's where my mind goes, and whether it applies to Aaron Rodgers or not, it is a nice. Aaron Rodgers serves as a good jumping off point to humanize athletes, to think about like that not everybody needs to be wired to be Michael Jordan and like want to punch teammates in the face. And like, I took that personally and I'm going to kill everybody. And like, all I want to do is just rip you to shreds. And then we all nod along. We're like, that's so dope, dude. What a competitor. It's like, it's okay to be like, yeah, I'm really good at football. I love playing it. I love making money. I love trying to win. But you know what else I love? Hawaii.
You know what else I love? Miles Teller and his wife.
Yeah, Miles Teller and his wife. That's what I love. Oh man, fun times.
Great stuff, Mark.
If Aaron Rodgers has in fact taken his last snap on a football field, which like the more I say that, the more I'm like trying to will it into existence somehow, which is really weird.
Because we want to be right. Because all of the things we just said about not being competitive and enjoying your life, that's bullshit. All we want is to win and be the first ones to break the news that Aaron Rodgers is retiring.
So if that is in fact what happens, how shocked are you? 1 to 10.
You heard it here first. No, I'm not even thinking about how shocked I am because I'm just thrilled that we called it in May.
We just called it, yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I think I'd be at a. After you said it, I'm just convinced that's gonna happen. I'd be at a 1 or 2, man. I'd be like, yeah, Mark said that was gonna happen.
Mark said it very convincingly.
Mark convinced me that Aaron Rodgers is done playing football.
I think that's how it kind of works. Like, again, another case that might not have anything to do with Aaron Rodgers, but it just kind of like where my mind goes is thinking about Roy Williams with basketball.
Yeah.
That was the same deal where he's just like on this track of like win more games, recruit more guys, raise more money for the program. Like he was just doing, and then it feels like Roy Williams, I don't know if this is what happened or not, but as an outsider, it feels like Roy Williams just woke up one day and was like, no.
Yeah.
It's enough. This is enough. And in your head, you think that Roy Williams and Coach K and Jim Boeheim and all these old Bob Huggins, like all these guys are long in the tooth that are still coaching college basketball, are going to die on the bench, or they're going to coach till they're like the competitor in them, Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how can you walk away? That fire.
Right.
That's what drives them to be so great. And Roy Williams is like, huh?
Roy Williams is like, I hated my team last year.
Yeah, my team, like, we've sucked. This sucks. Like, I don't like this anymore. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go hang out with my wife and, like, enjoy my life.
How many grandkids does Roy Williams have?
I don't know.
Like,
yeah,
I think you're right. And I think that that's the kind of thing that we don't expect from people. And then, you know, good for them. God, wouldn't that be great if one day you were just like, bye.
Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it, honestly. I just you want to talk about what I'm going to do or stuff that's going to happen. We're going to call our shots on this show. I'm telling you right now, that's when I retire, I will not tweet some personal news in caps, : after 36 years of making fart jokes.
Every time.
I've decided to hang it up after an 11. I want to thank everyone who played I'm just going to just like fizzle out and just like not, you're just going to be like, has Titus, like we haven't really, Wait, college basketball, it's like halfway through the season. He hasn't really done anything, has he? And
yep.
That's just going to be it.
You know what's going to happen is your contract's going to be up. You're not even going to contact anyone about renewing it. Yeah. You're just going to stop showing up to work.
Yeah, the day it's
and
out.
delete all your social media accounts.
Yeah.
And you know what the thing is, though, is that will draw the most headlines of anything.
And Charlotte, my contract, I think, is up like next year, so that might happen sooner than you think.
Well, just give me a heads up so I know how often I'm going to have to talk to myself in this podcast. Anyway, that's what we had to say about Aaron and Shailene. They're doing great. They look amazing. Kudos to them.
Hey pals, thanks for watching the People's Sports Podcast YouTube channel. For more of mine and Mark's very weird rabbit holes, stick around, watch more. You can subscribe, smash that subscribe button. You know you want to. We're going to give you all the weird stuff we possibly can.